Namaskar, Guruji.
Namaskar. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Asmad Gurubhyo Namaha. Shruti Smriti Puranamalaya Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badharayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishwaro Guru Ratmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyoma Vatvyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Shri Medha Dakshinamurti Swamine Namaha. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Guru
Namaskaram.
Namaskaram. Namaste to all of you once again. So we have been seeing a few preliminary topics, 3 topics I told you in the first class, of which we have seen the Purusharthas and we have also seen the scheme of Shastras, and the last 2-3 classes we have been seeing the Varna Ashrama Vyavastha, and the last class we finished the Varna Vyavastha, which was a little detailed, to understand. And that was required because of so many misconceptions that we have about the Varna Vyavastha. And today we will deal with Ashrama Vyavastha, and I propose to complete it today. And even if it takes a few minutes extra, please bear with me. We will complete Ashrama Vyavastha so that in the next class when we go, we will start with Tattva Bodha text. Right? So Varna Vyavastha, as I said, we have already seen, which is designed for the benefit of the society as a whole. For the society to function as one composite entity with minimum conflicts. There is not much of a competition, Everybody does their own karma, everybody follows their own nature, and then the society is all, in a very harmonious state. And if equal opportunities provided to everyone also for pursuing whatever they want to pursue, choose their profession, vocation, belonging, as per their own gunas or as per hereditary of their family. Okay. So thereby the dissatisfaction in the society was greatly reduced. Actually. That was the beauty of that system. Now, Ashrama Vyavastha is actually much more important than the Varna Vyavastha, because Ashrama Vyavastha deals with the individual growth. And individual growth, unlike the society, is all within the control of every individual. So if we want, even today, we can follow this Ashrama Vyavastha to the best extent possible, in the sense that given the circumstances and the changed nature of the society, still it is possible for us to follow this Ashrama Vyavastha for a great deal. So we will see what the Ashrama Vyavastha is and how, if we follow it, it will actually, take us spiritually forward, every step in every stage of our life, how we can progress spiritually. That we will see. Okay. This word ashrama is derived from the word shramaha. And the word shramaha means an effort, which is a deliberate, willful, and well-directed effort, is what shramaha means. It is not just doing something. It's a well-directed effort on the part of a human being. Right? So ashrama is from that word. So whenever we are in any stage of life, whatever efforts that we do, it should be very well directed and should be addressing the goals which are meant for that stage of life. That is the implied meaning of this word ashrama. Right? So it means basically you can say sadhana anushtan. For every ashramas, the Shastra prescribes certain sadhanas and anushtanam, following those sadhanas in every ashram of every stage of our life is what is called ashram, right? Because according to our scriptures, our entire life is a spiritual journey, which I told you earlier also, right? It is not just a, an exercise for entertainment purpose or a post-retirement exercise as it has largely become now. It is for many people, not for all, right? So the only difference is that in each stage, the type of spiritual sadhana differs. And that is why, according to our scriptures, the primary and the ultimate goal of a human being is a spiritual goal only. There is no other goal. Even when we temporarily accept dharma, artha, and kama as the human goals, in the heart of the hearts, what the scriptures are implying is that if you satisfy these as quickly as possible, these goals, but in and through all these goals, you pursue the spiritual goal only. So even when artha and kama you are pursuing, it has to be within the ambit of dharma. Just because you want to, earn lot of wealth, as scripture says, earn that wealth in a dharmic way, not in a adharmic way. Desires, kama, very natural to human beings, but fulfill those desires in a dharmic way, in a spiritual way, not in a adharmic. That is what is. So every stage of our life, even when we are pursuing, apparently non-spiritual goals of dharma, artha, and kama, still the scriptures insist that spirituality should not be given up, and that should be the spirit in which all these goals should be addressed, right? So this is what is the the thinking or the scheme of the scriptures, right? And therefore the scriptures begin the life with lot of spiritual sadhanas right from the birth itself. Even though one may not be able to do those sadhanas themselves, but there are so many samskaras prescribed for the parents, what they have to do. Then when this child grows up, what samskaras the child has to go through and all are spiritual, all are addressed or directed towards the spiritual journey only. Right? Purification, many of the samskaras which are all there in the initial stages of our life, all purification samskaras. Because this is not a class for samskaras, but sometimes I will be tempted to talk about that, then we will lose sight of ashrama subject. Okay. So what Vedas do is that they actually prescribe all these sadhanas like a sugar-coated pills. Because if you tell these are all sadhanas, spiritual, and all say I don't want spirituality, and people will go away. So, like, we given the example of a bitter, medicine being given to a child. Similarly, like a sugar-coated pills, give, okay, you have got kama, you have got desire, very good, fulfill that. Right? But do it in a spiritual way, in a proper way, in a dharmic way. So that you will say, okay, fine, you can compromise. I want to fulfill this desire, but I will do it in a dharmic way. So this is how they slowly lead you into the practice of all these sadhanas, right? So hidden beneath all these dharma, artha, kama is only spiritual goal that we must understand, right? And what is the spiritual goal? It is nothing but what we all had before 1947, freedom struggle. That is the spiritual goal, isn't it? We are caught in something out of which we are not able to get out. And Shastra described as the samsara. I mean, the two big issues which we are caught is, one is living as a human being in this world which is full of miseries and troubles and everything, which gives us a lot of sorrow, which we don't like at all, which in fact we want to escape from at every moment, but we are unable to do. And the second is this rebirth issue. Even if we think that by dying we will escape all this, Shastra says no, you will be born again and you will have to undergo this thing again. So this whole spiritual journey is all about freedom struggle. Freedom from all these bondages. In Vishnu Sahasranama tomorrow we will talk. Janma samsara bandhanat muchyate. To get free, moksha from this bandhana, from this bondage, shackles of this janma and this samsara. That is the spiritual journey, that is the spiritual goal which the Shastras talk about. So they talk about that moksha, your ultimate parama purushartha in this dharma, artha, kama and moksha. That should be the goal you should be pursuing. And for that, the whole scheme through this ashrama scheme is prescribed. Right? So there are 4 ashramas. We broadly know what those are. They are brahmacharya ashrama, grihastha ashrama, vanaprastha ashrama and sannyasa ashrama. 4 ashramas are there. So we will see, in some detail each of these ashramas, right? And in fact, these 4 ashramas is meant for a person to evolve spiritually. In the Shastra, there is an example given of the evolution of a butterfly. If you see a butterfly, it undergoes 4 stages. The first is what is they call egg stage, then caterpillar, then what they call pupa, right? And then a butterfly, glorious butterfly. So these 4 stages of brahmacharya and grihasthashrama, vanaprastha all like this egg, caterpillar and pupa stage. And finally, when you come to the moksha stage, you will fly free like a glorious butterfly. That is the sort of simile given in the Shastras for these 4 stages. Okay. So the first ashrama is brahmacharya ashrama. It's a student's life of education, life committed to education. Now the question is, what is the purpose of education in our life? Right? Nowadays, whenever we talk about education, we only mean learning certain professional skills or knowledge meant for earning. Learning for earning. So only money and earning is the goal that we have. Entertainment, artha, kama goals, right? So whenever we talk of education, we only talk of that. Which degree will give what job, how much that job will pay, whether that job has got 2 sources of income, one regular source, one irregular source of income. All these things are all talked about, isn't it? Even in professions which are supposed to be noble professions, we are seeing what is happening, like doctor's profession and all that. You are seeing what is happening. How, this artha and kama have actually overtaken all spirituality. By hook or by crook, we have to earn. That is what we do, even if human lives are at stake. Right? So all these things are today, meant today we understand by education. This is what we understand. But this is not the approach of the scriptures. Our scriptures accept that there should be professional education, no doubt. But, so going back, I should either become a karma brahmana or a karma kshatriya or a karma vaishya or a karma shudra. Scriptures totally accept that. But what the scriptures say is that apart from or in addition to acquiring these knowledge and skills, which is only one part of this education, which unfortunately has become now the primary part, The primary purpose of education, according to the scriptures, is the refinement of a person. Born as a Shudra, he should end up as a Brahmana. Guna Brahmana, he should end up as. He is born as a Guna Shudra. Everybody is born as a Guna Shudra. But that Guna can be changed, and the purpose of education should be to, to lead you through this transition, the refinement of your character. That is the purpose of education. According to the Shastra, it's a character building of a person, right? So that as he transforms, he will harmoniously fit into the society, contribute whatever he can do to the, for the society's good. And through that, he will also achieve his individual growth. So both society's growth and individual growth can be achieved successfully if all the individuals, progress in the refinement process. More and more refined you are, more and more responsible you will be towards these other people's, needs and their requirements in the society, and more compassionate you will be towards all others. So this refinement is what the Shastras emphasize. And if an unrefined person, a corrupt person enters the society, we know what happens. We are witnessing all that today in our society. So refinement is what the goal, which the Shastras say. And Swami Chinmayananda, uses a beautiful expression. He says, this education should convert an animal man to a man. That's what he says. A wild human being should become a tamed and cultured human being. We can see uncultured people, how their behavior is no different than wild animals, isn't it? So, only when you convert an animal man into a man, can a man become a God man, he says. Swami Chinmayananda says. Such a beautiful expression. And here, God man, I don't mean all these God men who go around and some of them are in jails also. I don't mean that God man. God man means the ultimate Aham Brahmasmi. That is God man. Understanding of what is meant by Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, these Mahavakyas. That is God man. Right? You understand that there is no difference between you and God. Essentially. So, the process is similar to what we do with the crude metal. We actually iron ore, we take out, do it processing. For it to be used, how much process it undergoes, and finally we get that usable material, or the usable metal. We can't take iron ore and straight away use it, rather. We can't do that. So that refinement for a human being is what the Shastras are talking about, right? So for that, the first stage is you have to Shastra says you have to become a Dvijaha. Dvijaha means you are born as a Shudra, now you need to take a rebirth. Right? And this rebirth is in the form of a samskara, which we call the Brahmopadesha samskara or Upanayana samskara. And this samskara was prescribed for all three varnas, rather. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Shudra, all jatis. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Shudra, this Vaishya, all three varnas, all three jatis had to undergo this Upanayana samskara. Because that is the starting point, admission to this refinement process. And that is where the Brahmacharya ashramam begins. Before that, right from birth to that stage, that person is a single born of his natural biological parents, rather. He has got no connection with Shastra. But when he undergoes that samskara, then he gets that second birth. And in the second birth, the mother is the Shastra and the father is the Guru. So this is how the Shastras present this Brahmacharya ashrama as a twice born, they say second time born. So it is a different birth he takes, a birth to become a refined person. From a animal man to a man to begin with. Right? So what he does, he actually gets the Upadesha of Gayatri Mantra. Then he goes to the Guru, goes to the Gurukulam, spends time understanding the Shastras, the entire Vedas, Purva Paga, and also to some extent the Jnana Kanda, this is Upanishads and all. But the emphasis is more on the Purva Bhaga because that is what is going to help him in his next stage in life, Artha, Kama and Dharma, which is all the part of Purva Bhaga. So all that he learns under the Gurukulam for a long period of time, staying with the Guru, he learns that. And that process, and the Guru, he knows how to do it because he himself has done it. So he gives him a lot of sadhanas, which will keep on refining him, this person, from, on a day-to-day basis. So this is how the Brahmacharya ashram is perceived. And during that time also, the Guru will also impart necessary skills required for the professional life. So it is not that you only undergo Vedic teaching and all that. Even today, this Kanchi Math and all that, they have actually, lot of schools they have sponsored where children are taught both. They have got CBSE syllabus for all their, subjects, Laukika subjects, and they are also taught Vedas and all that, that whole curriculum is adjusted like. In fact, once I had an opportunity to visit one of those schools along with Vijayendra Saraswati Swamiji. So it was such a nice thing. They get up early in the morning, 4:30, do their Sandhya Vandanam and all that. Then till about 9 o'clock, the Veda teaching goes on. Then from 9, they learn the school, normal school. Then evening, they have got, play some games and all. The children require some entertainment. And then prayers, evening prayers, Ayam Sandhya. It's a very beautiful curriculum they have designed. So there are some, cases they are doing it even today, right? So a Prakrita Jana has to become a Samskrita Jana. That is the process of this, purification. So that is the purpose of this Brahmacharya ashram, to start this process of refinement. And here, Brahmacharya, we have to understand, Brahma means Veda. And Charya means the one who treads on or who follows, right? Charati. So, Brahmacharya is the one who follows a lifestyle prescribed in the Vedas for that stage of his life. Pre-married life. Education-oriented life. Learning life. Because in that period only you can learn. Today we are learning because we have that extra enthusiasm to learn. But best time to learn is during the Brahmacharya ashrama, when you don't have any responsibilities, you don't have any connection with your even parents rather. You are in the Gurukula rather. So fully focusing only on learning, right? So Brahmani Vede Charati iti Brahmacharya, right? So he walks in the path of the Vedas. So when we talk of refinement, let us see a few elements of this refinement. First of all, a refined person knows what his goal in life is. So first of all, you have to be taught what your goal in life is. And that is the problem. Our education system today doesn't teach anybody any goal in life. There are so many people who reach, so many students who reach the secondary school, that is what you call plus, what's that, 10th standard or plus 2, whatever stage is there. They don't know what to do after that. And they say everything depends upon how many marks I am going to get in this examination. Very few students you will find they are clear about their goal. Otherwise, during my time and all that, it was parents who decided And their decision in our culture, in especially in Brahmana jatis, are all only two: either become a doctor or an engineer. This was all. Period. So you have to study very hard, get very good marks to get either admission for MBBS or for some engineering course. This was the only goal. Child had no say in that. Even today also, of course, some cases slowly it is changing. But then if you ask a child what is your goal, it will say, I want to earn a lot of money. Well, earning a lot of money cannot be a goal. What you want to do that is the question. So this is what is important. Education system to teach the child to first understand what are the possible goals and what goals he should select. And that goal should be in keeping with his, his character and all. That is very important, right? So, otherwise, it will be like a football game. The 11 players, they're all passing the ball very well and all that. Very beautiful game, enjoyable game, but nobody is scoring a goal. What's the use of that passing the ball? Unless you have a focus towards the goal and all this passing of the ball is all focused towards, putting that goal, the whole football game will be a waste. Similarly, in our life also, we do so many things without a proper goal and objective in life. If we do it, we will end up as miserable old people only, because we don't know what to do. We have no goal in life. Morning we get up, we don't know what to do. We sit in front of the TV and just keep on watching like that's why it's called an idiot box. By watching it more and more and more, we ourselves or mentally will become idiots. No thinking, our thinking capacity goes away. So fixing this goal, and earlier you fix the goal, the better it is. So that is what the education system should do, fixing the goals, right? And in that process, if you are told your goal is moksha, in the 4 purusharthas, the human goals, if you are made to understand that your goal is getting freedom, liberation from this problematic life, then you will actually pursue all the sadhanas seriously, sincerely, with dedication to achieve that moksha at whatever stage in your life, right? So a student should know that a spiritual goal is the ultimate goal. This is point number 1. And second thing is, there should be some sort of knowledge of some religious, worship. Because worship is one of the best methods to gain discipline. A refined person is a disciplined person. This nobody can say no to this statement. Without discipline, you cannot get refinement. So the discipline, if it has to come, one needs to start practicing that discipline, and the best way to do is some sort of a religious activity. And that is why in the Brahmacharya ashrama, the Sandhya Vandanam has been made a compulsory activity. Sandhya Vandanam doesn't give you any punya. Sandhya Vandanam doesn't give you any, doesn't help you to reach Kama and Artha Purusharthas. Sandhya Vandanam is a discipline. It actually gives you Chitta Shuddhi. Right from that stage, they start the Chitta Shuddhi business. A boy, after Upanayanam, immediately he starts with Sandhya, Trikala Sandhya, he starts. And what does that involve? If he has to do the morning Sandhya Vandanam, Shastras say that in the morning, you have to offer oblations to Surya Bhagavan before the Surya Bhagavan appears. That means before sunrise, you have to offer oblations. You have to do the Tarpanam in the morning before the sunrise. Gayatri Japa you have to do, you can do it before sunrise or after sunrise, that doesn't matter. But offering oblations, Aditya, Namaha, Soma, Namaha, all that what we do, the oblations in the morning, that has to be done before Suryodaya. If you have to do that, what you have to do? You have to get up early in the morning. So slowly, slowly, you overcome all these physical discomforts and then learn to get up early in the morning, 4:30. And then start, do your morning ablutions and then, take bath and all that. And then do your Sandhya Vandanam. You are not supposed to even do anything else, eat, drink anything before you finish this. That is the Gurukula Vasa. So this discipline is inculcated right from the Brahmacharya ashrama, right? And rituals are important because with rituals only discipline will come. If you see the army, everything army people, they do it ritualistically. And that is why there is a discipline in the army. Even they walk, there is a, it's a ritualistic. They cannot just walk like this, wobbling. They have to walk straight with the chest up and all that. Similarly, when they meet a senior, the salutation, and there is a ritual to do that. How you have to do it? If you are in the army, you have to do a salute your senior in a particular way. You are in the navy, it is a different ritual. If you are in the air force, it's a different ritual. So army is full of rituals. And that is why army is a disciplined army. So in order to maintain discipline, rituals are very much necessary. And that is our Shastras understood that. And that is why all these rituals were prescribed, the Brahmacharya Ashrama. Right. Today also, even going to a gym, Surya Namaskar, there are also rituals also. They all give you the discipline. Right. So then, this is how briefly the Brahmacharya Ashrama was there. And this religious, practices and all were introduced because these things will become useful later in the life in the Vanaprastha Ashrama also. Grihastha Ashrama also there are a lot of rituals, no doubt. But when you are talking about Vanaprastha Ashrama and also Upasana, meditation and all that, this association with God in some form is very much necessary. Because ultimately that is what your journey is, your goal is moksha, isn't it? So that is how this educational system was, created, right? So first of all, so you should know the goal, and you should know the benefits or the value of this, physicalized worship you can call like Sandhya Vandanam and all other types of worship. You must understand the values of life, and once you go through all these things, you automatically become a refined person. I am no longer a threat to the society. An unrefined person is always a threat to a society. So this is the Brahmacharya Ashrama. Now we will see the Grihastha Ashrama. Grihastha Ashrama is a very, very important, and in fact it is the entire pillar on which the whole society stands. So it's a very important ashrama. And why I say the whole society stands, because Brahmacharya ashrama, you are in Gurukula. And in Gurukula, you have to do only, you can, feed yourself only by bhiksha. You cannot do your cooking and all that, your mother or father, mother is not going to be around to serve you. So Brahmacharya ashrama, the guru will not have so much of resource to feed all the children. So what the guru will do at the morning after doing all these things, one class or something, he will say, go and do your bhiksha, go to every house and grihastha's house and get your bhiksha and eat. Whatever you get, you eat. That's what the guru will say. Similarly, Vanaprastha ashrama, you leave all your family, everything, and you go. It's a life of withdrawal from the society. There also, you are supposed to live on bhiksha only. Sannyasa ashrama, no doubt, you have to live on bhiksha. But who is the one who will give them all these three ashrama people bhikshas? The grihastha ashrama. So that is why the Grihastha ashrama is the pivot on which this entire society survives. All the other three ashramas survive. So it's a very important ashrama. And we need to have a very good understanding of this Grihastha ashrama. And that's why Brahmachari cannot live in his house. A Vanaprastha cannot live in his house. A sannyasi, of course, he cannot live anywhere permanently. Right? He's a parivrajaka. He has to keep on traveling. Only person who can live in his own house is a grihastha. That is why grihastha word itself says grihe tishtati iti grihastha. The one who can live, stay in his own house is a grihastha. That is the meaning of the word grihastha. Right? So only a grihastha is permitted to not only stay in his own house, get married, have a family, feed the other three ashramas, do everything to earn enough money in a dharmic way in order to lead a comfortable life for himself and his family, and also make sure that he is able to contribute whatever he can to the society as a whole. Because only Grihastha can earn. Brahmachari cannot earn anything. Vanaprastha is beyond earning stages. Sannyasi, he gives up whatever he has earned also. So it's only Grihastha you can earn and then you can contribute. So the whole spiritual journey, as Swami Dayananda Saraswati says, from a consumer we have to become a contributor. That is the spiritual journey. Our focus should always be, because whole life we are consuming, and for that we are earning. Our focus should be how you convert yourself from being a consumer to a contributor. In the sense that you will still continue to consume, but predominant activity or predominance in your life will be your contribution to the society, contribution to the others. And this Grihastha ashrama, we have to learn this particular value. Converting your life from a consumer to a contributor. And in our Shastras, this Grihastha ashrama was a dharmic ashrama. It was not meant for Kama. Kama is only incidental in Grihastha ashrama. Right? It was meant for Karma Yoga. There are so many rituals, samskaras prescribed for the Grihastha ashrama that has to be performed along with a spouse. A man has to do the karmas along with his wife. Except for Sandhya Vandana karma, he has to involve his wife in every other karma a Grihastha does. So that joint venture, Grihastha ashrama, we have to understand that's the importance of the Grihastha ashrama. And it was a dharmic life meant for doing all these karmas, and karmas with what attitude? With a karma yoga attitude. After performing every karma, which are, all karmas are three types: kayikam karma, vachikam karma, manasam karma, right? After performing every karma with all sincerity, he actually does what you call auto suggestion continuously. What is that? Kayena vacha manasa indriyerva buddhyatmanavat prakrite swabhavat karomi yadyat sagalam parasmai sriman narayanayedi samarpayami. This is what essence of karma yoga. Ishwararpana buddhi is what you get by continuously chanting this again and again and again. Initially, it may be only lip service. But as you go on doing it, understanding the meaning of this mantra, understanding what the entire rituals are meant for in the Grihastha ashrama, understanding that all these are meant for Chitta Shuddhi only, attaining Chitta Shuddhi, if you understand all that, then from mere lip service, this will become a sincere offering from you to Parameshwara, to Paramatma, to Narayana. That whatever I am doing, I am offering it to you. And whatever phala you want to give me for that, you give me, I will accept it as a Ishwara Prasada. That is the attitude when you actually develop, you have completed your Grihastha ashrama role. That's the purpose of Grihasthashrama. Everything Karma Yoga leads to Chitta Shuddhi, and Chitta Shuddhi is very, very important for what? Moksha pursuit. Moksha pursuit, the primary qualification is Chitta Shuddhi only. You have to have that. Without that, there is no moksha. You can't get into Jnana Yoga. Vedanta, one sentence will not enter your mind if you do not have the clarity and the purity of the, I mean, I would say relative purity. I mean, 100% purity and all is not like Shuddha Ghee and all. But relative purity, this Grihasthashrama gives. So this is a very, very important ashrama. Unfortunately, what has happened today, Grihasthashrama has become a totally materialistic ashrama. Whatever little karmas that people were doing, they have stopped doing that also. Isn't it? How many of us, let us ask ourselves, are doing Sandhya Vandana? And how many of us in that are doing Trikana Sandhya Vandana? How many of us are doing Shraddha Karmas? How many of us are doing Amavasya Tarpana Karmas? So many other karmas are there. How many of us are doing? And then we are asking the question, why all this problem I am facing? Why I am having this difficulties and all that? Isn't it? It is like a joke one doctor said. A person goes to a doctor prescribes a medicine, and this person is asking him, doctor, will there be any side effects for this medicine? The doctor laughs and says, when you ate the chole bhature, did you ask the restaurant fellow whether there will be any side effects for the chole bhature? When you ate all those burgers and that pizzas and all that, did you ask those people whether that will have any side effects? Now, because of all that, you have all developed all problems of obesity, stomachache, everything. And now you come to me and I am giving you a medicine for that and you are asking whether there will be any side effects. How reasonable you are. Exactly what we are all doing. We don't do any of these things which is prescribed in the Shastras, but we want to lead a very comfortable, very happy life also. Shastra says you will do that, you will get a happy life only if you do all these karmas. Because the way we have understood happiness is totally wrong. What is happiness we have not understood. So that is of course different subject matter for, we will come to Tattva Bodha text, we will talk about all that. What is Ananda? What is the correct meaning of Ananda? We will see in Tattva Bodha, right? And today everybody in the family is empowered, economic empowerment is there. Everybody. Everybody has big houses, everybody has got their own room, their own television, their own mobile phones. I mean, it's very funny when you go to somebody's house, they have children, the children don't come out of their rooms to greet you even. How sad. Even in my generation, or maybe one generation before me, there was a discipline in the family that when an elderly person comes, the children will come and at least say namaskara to that person, take his blessings and all that. All those things have vanished. In fact, some people, this is not a joke, I have experienced it. There are some old people, they want some company, so they'll go to somebody's house and then they will keep on talking, chatterbox. What will happen is that person may be nicknamed as Chatterbox Mama in the house, which that person may not know. So what will happen after that person goes, after a long session of chatting, the wife will come and ask, that Chatterbox Mama has gone. So children will listen to that, hear that. So children will also use the same thing, Chatterbox Mama has gone. So what I'm trying to tell you is these are all the values, disciplines and all which are vanished. And then if we are getting into more and more problems, more and more difficulties, more and more miserable situations in our life, we know side effects of everything that we are not doing. Right? Anyhow, if I keep on talking like that, somewhere else I will go. So what I am trying to say is this Grihastha ashrama, coming back to that, is a very important ashrama where one needs to practice all these, karmas, rituals. And when children see that, they will also get inspired that when they grow up, they should follow all these things. So it's from one generation to another generation, this will follow. And this is very, very true. I tell you, children these days are very smart. I'll tell you a personal example. In my childhood, my father did not do my Upanayam ceremony at an early stage and all. It was very late and it was done. But still, I wanted to learn the Vedas. But I didn't have an opportunity. And I started working and all that. So there was no question of learning the Vedas. Then, when my son, who was 11 years, I did his, Upanayanam ceremony. We were in Bombay. So near our house, there is the Shankara Matam. So I told him, why don't you go and learn the Vedas? There is some teacher there who is teaching Vedas right from beginning. Why don't you go and learn there? One day question he asked, did you learn the Vedas when you were a child? I said, no, I didn't have any opportunity. You know what he said? Don't give me these excuses. Why are you asking me to do something which you yourself has not done? The question straightforward he asked me, 11-year-old boy. Now, I felt very guilty. I said that, yeah, right. Then I thought about it overnight and I told him, okay, I have not done it when I was a child, but if I now come along with you, will you come with me and we both will go and learn the Vedas? He agreed for that. And both of us went and learned Vedas, some Veda mantras, 3.5 years in Shankara Matam from a well-trained guru. So what I am trying to emphasize here is this Grihastha ashrama's important is whatever you do, you can expect your child to follow. If you don't do it, don't ask the child to follow. You have no right to ask the child to do that. This is how the Grihastha ashrama has to be understood. And if we have to imbibe the right values in our children, first of all, we must possess the right values. We cannot tell the child that on the phone you tell somebody I am not at home and then expect the child to be a very truthful person throughout his life. You cannot do that. So these are all the importance of the Grihastha ashrama we have to understand, because Grihastha ashrama is going to influence a lot of people, the future generation. That is why Grihastha ashrama is a very, very important ashrama. Okay. I can keep on talking a lot about Grihastha ashrama, but since the time is limited, I will now go to the Vanaprastha ashrama. So when we have started with Brahmacharya ashrama, which is the starting point, we have taken Vedas, the Shruti as mother and Guru as our second father, and got all the values, everything from the Guru and Shruti, and gone through the Grihastha ashrama, a further refinement process to attain Chitta Shuddhi. It is time for us to withdraw from Grihastha ashrama. That is the beauty of our Shastras, our scriptures. Nothing you can hold on to. You must, during Grihastha ashrama itself, towards the final stages, when your children have grown up, when they are all more or less settled in their life, either in terms of a profession or got married or whatever it is, learn to withdraw, learn to let go. You should not interfere in their lives. If you do so, you are inviting trouble for yourself and also trouble for your children. Very simple, and that is why all these domestic problems, if you analyze today, it is because the old parents refuse to withdraw, refuse to stop interfering in the life of their children. The same parents would have told their parents, don't interfere in my life. They would have told it to their parents, but when it comes to their children, they will continue to interfere in the children's life. Till the children say, don't interfere. And then they will cry, oh, how much trouble I took to, make this fellow, educate him and do all these things. Now he's talking to me like this. This is the complaint. Who asked you to first interfere? If you interfere like you talk to your father, he will talk to you. So Shastra says, understand this. This is a big serious problem. Now get out of the Grihastha ashrama. go to Vanaprastha ashrama. Those days, of course, people used to literally go to a Vanaprastha means going to Vanam means a forest, right? So Vanaprastha means going to a forest and secluded place without being disturbed by any of the society, problems or anything. Focus only on meditation. You have attained a certain degree of chitta shuddhi from the grihastha. Refine your mind more and more and more, because next ashrama is sannyasa ashrama, which is jnana pradhana ashrama. Your goal is moksha. For that jnanam, knowledge is necessary. Knowledge of the self is necessary. So you will start studying from Tattva Bodha onwards. For that, you have to acquire all the qualifications like Viveka Vairagya, Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti, Mumukshutvam, all those things you will have to acquire. Train yourself for that. That is the Vanaprastha ashrama stage. And that stage involves a lot of upasanas. Upasanas basically meditation. And some of the rituals which you are doing earlier, you have to continue to do those rituals also. Like Pitri Karmas and all that, you cannot give up because you have not given up your Vanaprastha ashrama. You have not entered Sannyasa ashrama where you can legally give up all those things. Legally means as per scripture. Scripturally, you can give up all that in Sannyasa ashrama. But in Vanaprastha ashrama, you cannot give it up. So you have to follow all those karmas also. Sandhya Vandanam, all those things. Plus, you must now, because you have no other activity, you are bringing up children activity, taking care of the house activity and all is over. You are living on bhiksha. So spend your time meditating. By more and more meditation, you gain more and more chitta shuddhi and also chitta naishchalyam. In fact, Vanaprastha ashrama, the main aim is chitta naishchalyam, which is concentration power, focusing power. So in grihastha ashrama, you had chitta shuddhi, and now in Vanaprastha ashrama, you get chitta naishchalyam. By meditating, you are able to focus your mind on one particular aspect, which is very much required for purposes of Vedanta, for purposes of Jnana Yoga, for purposes of understanding the Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita. You require that concentration, focused mind. So that Vanaprastha ashrama gives you that opportunity to train yourself for that. See how beautifully every stage has been designed. And once you have done that, Vanaprastha, now don't ask me for Vanaprastha ashrama, can I take my wife also? Right? The answer is very simple. If you take your wife, you are taking your samsara along with you, isn't it? But then it is not this thing, because these days it is not practical. It may not be practical to go and go to some jungle and all. You will die of hunger. Nobody will feed you. So what the applicable to the modern times, what we can do is, you can live in your house with your family, with your children, but as a recluse. Do minimum contact with the family. Only what is required, you have maintain contact. Otherwise, lock yourself up in a room, do your meditation, continue to do all karmas, you continue to do whatever, Sandhya Vandanam you have to do, puja you have to do. In fact, a house, well-established house will be much more comfortable to do all these things rather than going to a jungle and establishing something separate, isn't it? But you can do all those things. Keep the interaction with the family minimum, reduce it. Don't interfere in your children's affairs. They know, they are grown up. You have trained them well. In fact, you should pat your back for bringing up the children very well, so that they have become responsible citizens. They have got married, they have got children, they are able to take care of their own life. They don't, and if they require any advice, they will come and seek that advice from you. You must have that stature in the family that when children require some advice, they come and seek you instead of you poking your nose and giving advice when it is not asked for. That is another big problem we all face. Children don't want your advice, but still you will give them advice. So this is the Vanaprastha Ashrama where we have to progress. And once you have done this, you have become refined and refined and refined and refined. Ultimately, you come to the Sannyasa Ashrama. And in Sannyasa Ashrama, your focus is only on jnana, on getting this knowledge, which is very much necessary for moksha. What is jnanam, what is moksha and all, we will see detailed in the next classes when we start with the Tattva Bodha text. This is all, I'm just giving you, I'm preparing you, preparing the ground, build up, I'm giving. So, when you enter Sannyasa Ashrama, legally or spiritually, you can give up all your karmas. In fact, you give up your thread also. What you took in Brahmacharya Ashrama, what you put on in Brahmacharya Ashrama, you just throw it away. You throw your dress also. You do a homa and say bye-bye to fire, Agni Devata. Once in sannyasa, you have no relationship with Agni Devata. Agni Devata's role in your life is over, finished. So you enter the sannyasa stage. There are two types of sannyasa, Vidvat sannyasa and Vidvat sannyasa and I'm forgetting the other one.
Is it Vivid sannyasa? Vivid sannyasa?
Vidvat sannyasa, Vividisha. Thank you.
Vivid.
Yeah, Vividisha. So there are two types of sannyasis. One sannyasis, they are actually attained that Brahma Jnana. Those sannyasis will abide only in that Brahma Nishtha. They will be abiding in the Brahma Jnana. Other sannyasis are learner sannyasis. They will be student sannyasis who will be getting into the knowledge, getting the knowledge of Upanishads, Gita, Bhagavad Gita, and all that. So these two types of sannyasas are there. That's not important. What we have to understand is that the sannyasa ashrama relieves you from all responsibilities, including the shastric responsibilities, and makes you totally free to focus only on moksha purushartha. How I can achieve, I should not say achieve, how I can understand my real nature. How can I get the knowledge of that self? What is that knowledge of the self? And how I can continue to abide in that knowledge of the self. How I can understand my real nature as Sat, Chit and Ananda. And how I can revel in that knowledge for the rest of the life that is there. That I have to live as per my prarabdha karma. And through that process, how the rebirth is totally avoided. All my karmas which are there are all completely extinguished. With the fall of my body, my prarabdha karma is also extinguished. So I have no karma balance in my account for me to take a rebirth. So this is where the sannyasa ashrama leads us to. So the entire scheme of these four ashramas so beautifully designed, and it was working very well during Vedic times, all these things. Only today, it has actually, Varna system has gone, almost gone. It has actually gone corrupted into this caste system. But this ashrama system, since it is individual oriented, it is possible for us within all the constraints that we face. I cannot say that I can't be very, what I can say, idealistic in this. We all face constraints, But within those constraints, I can assure you it is possible to follow all these 4 ashramas, if not physically, at least at your mental level. You can be a mentally vanaprastha. Mentally, you can be a sannyasa. In all your attitude towards your family, towards the society, you can be a sannyasi. Nothing stops you from that. You need not wear that, robes and all, that sannyasi robes, that saffron color robes and all. You don't need to wear. Because sannyasi is what? Sannyasi, by wearing those robes, you don't become a sannyasi. Sannyasi is spirit. Internally, you must be a sannyasi. Antara sannyasi you should be. Bahya sannyasi, if you are there or not, doesn't matter. So it is possible even today for us to follow it. And if we follow it, we can start understanding what this Ananda really means. So with that Ananda message, I will stop today and we will continue in the next class. I will say the prayers, and if any questions are there, I will take it. Okay. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you all once again.
Thank you. Namaskara.
Thank you.
Guruji.
Thank you, Guruji.
Ganga
Thank you, Guruji.
Pravaham.
Thank you.
It's like
Thank you,
Ganga
Guruji.
Pravaham.
Guruji, I got a question, please.
Yes. What do you want? Yes,
In,
now we will have mini satsang questions.
in the introduction,
Ah,
you said that the whole system is for the benefit of society to function as a harmonious or composite state. Do you think communism would have adopted this?
see, when these were talked about, there was no isms.
No, I agree.
Yeah. But why you are going to communism? Has our constitution adopted this? No.
No.
Then why let us talk about communism? Let us talk our own country. Our constitution has not adopted this. Then that is why I keep saying, when you come into this ashrama is important, because the more you move from grihasthas to vanaprastha, you will start ignoring all these things. Because your aim in life is moksha. You don't bother about what is happening outside. As long as it doesn't actually affect you. You don't need to react to every Facebook entry which comes. You don't need to react to every WhatsApp message that comes to you. You have to train yourself for that. And once you start doing it, you will realize how free you are becoming. Already you are actually moving towards moksha. So whether it is communism or capitalism and all, how does it matter? My aim is moksha.
So communism, the communism, the fundamental principle was equal share of it to everybody, between the haves and have-nots.
This is a social question.
It is to share.
See, communism,
Somewhere some noise is coming.
And what communism has become, we have seen, right? Karl Marx said religion is the opiate of the masses. And with that, he started this, socialistic pattern and things like that and all. But how long did it last? In every communist country which have taken communism as the state policy, is it being truly followed communism? Even in our own country, those who call themselves communists, are they really interested in the welfare of the people that, from have to have nots? Everybody is human being. They only haves. Communism is nothing better than a cult. That's all, according to my view. But my point is, why we should be discussing all that? It's not worth discussing. I don't want to actually spend my time discussing about all this. I did enough of that when I studied in college and then when I was doing my job and all that. Now I realize that all that was unnecessary. I have developed blood pressure. I have developed diabetes. Everything because I was doing all that. If I did not do all that, probably today I will not have all the physical ailments that I have. That is conclusion. So let us forget that, because let us focus on ourselves. The only person whom we love most in our life is our own self. And because we love ourselves, other people become loving to us. I'm not saying this, Shastra says this. Okay, we'll see all that when you see Bodha and all.
One more question.
Yeah.
When we transit from brahmacharya to grahastha to vanaprastha ashrama, does it mean from the grahastha to vanaprastha, that is the retirement stage?
See, the Shastra doesn't actually say what age this should happen.
Okay.
This can happen in any stage when your mental maturity you reach.
Okay.
I mean, see, in those days, what do you mean by retirement? See, people were earning for the purposes of their immediate requirements and for the purposes of taking care of the children, the family, and also for the purposes of feeding the other members of the society, which was their responsibility. Nobody was earning to hoard the money.
Agreed.
That was not the aim of earning. First problem we face is today we are continuing to earn not for ourselves. Even when all these requirements are met, we want to earn for the next 7 generations. And so we have given a retirement age at 60, 58 or whatever it is. Even that also is only when you are in a private sector or a public sector job. If you are in your own business or anything, there is no retirement age.
No retirement.
Get out of earning at all. As long as you are in Kama, this Artha and Kama life goals, where you can even talk of Dharma and Moksha. So you born as Artha Kama Pradhana, die as Artha Kama Pradhana.
Okay.
No moksha and all. It's waste talking to such people about moksha and all.
So that means we have to divide our life into 4 compartments.
Yes.
It is up to us how you transit from one to another.
Exactly. If you feel that you have fulfilled your responsibility towards your family, your children are grown up enough to take care of themselves, or even you create some sort of a trust which will actually give them, you transfer all your money to a trust and which will keep feeding them, taking care of them. You get out of that and you pursue vanaprastha and become a sannyasa. But sannyasa becoming is not that easy.
Correct.
Because sannyasa, one type of sannyasa is run away from home, which we have seen some Hindi movies. That's not a sannyasa. Sannyasa means you have to take a proper diksha from your guru or another sannyasi. And no guru sannyasi will give you a diksha if he finds that you still have got some incomplete responsibilities from grihasthashram. For example, there are a lot of people known to me, they are not married. They have parents, old mother. They went to Swami Dayananda Saraswati. Yeah, we want to take sannyasa. Dayananda Saraswati said, you please go and take care of your mother first. Make sure that your responsibilities to your mothers are all discharged. Then after that, your mother goes away, come back to me, then we will talk about sannyasa. So, even if I want to take sannyasa, no Acharya will give me sannyasa because I have got a wife. They will give, provided they will ask the wife, are you ready to get rid of this fellow? So even though if generally somebody asks, my wife will say yes, but if a guru asks, she will say no. No, I want him. Because she needs somebody to keep on troubling, If she loses me, then the entire charm in her life is gone. Her purushartha is gone. Just joking, Because it's my wife, I can talk about that.
Very nice, very nice.
So what I
Guruji.
is mental maturity stage we have to realize and then
Correct.
towards this. So all these things, for example, I told you when I was 15 years old, I learned Vedas,
Okay.
which I should have done when I was 11 years old or 9 years old rather. So it doesn't matter at what age you get that maturity to do a particular thing. And
Now I'm trying to learn something at the age of 70 plus.
exactly. So it doesn't matter. You should be happy that in this life you got an opportunity.
I got an opportunity.
That is the best. That is what we should appreciate.
Yes, sir.
In our life, we should always appreciate what we get out of our life, what messages we get, rather than what we have to ask, what is the life giving me and all. Life always gives. Depends on us how we take it.
How? Yes.
Other time,
Opportunities.
Vishnu Sahasranama class, one girl asked. She said that, Dharmaputra, he was the, embodiment of Dharma, but he still played, this dice game with Duryodhana, and he even pledged his wife.
Wife.
Dharmic activity and all. In fact, I will actually clarify to her. That day, I didn't give her the proper answer. I felt that I was not giving her a proper answer. The answer is, even if a person who is actually an embodiment of Dharma, when he starts playing a game like dice, he will go to the extent of even pledging his wife. So that you should, the message we should get is, we must stay away from all these gambling games. That is the message.
But was it karma that it pulled him into that?
We should not go into that. It was
okay.
Dharma which pulled him into that. That is true. Because there is the Raja Dharma.
Raja Dharma
Forces him to actually not say no when he is invited for a gambling game. It pulls him into that. And because of that, there are a lot of what they call it, collateral damages are there because of that. But we should not ask, because what we should do, we must not judge whether Yudhishthira was right or wrong. Or when Rama sent Sita, somewhere to the jungle, whether he was right or wrong. What we should do is, what are the messages that these stories are giving us for our life? That is what we should say. So stay away, Yudhishthira example, stay away from gambling. So that is the message we should take and then go forward. Not sit and debate whether Yudhishthira did was right, was wrong. Everybody will have their own opinion.
That's
because
correct.
I don't know what was the society like that time. I mean, the question can be asked, can one woman be husband? No, have 5 husbands. So that's another sociological question.
See Kristen and Nick.
Our pursuit is moksha pursuit. Our package is moksha package. Gather whatever is necessary for that travel, that journey, and continue with it, and discard all the excess baggage. Because mind you, this moksha journey is like climbing the Everest. If you know how the Everest, the climbers, who actually climb to the Everest, what they do, they will be carrying heavy baggage up to stage 1. Then when stage 2, they will actually discard a lot of baggage. Then when they reach the Everest, they will be just having only their mask and the oxygen. And maybe a flag of their country, whichever they are representing, to put in that Everest. Nothing else they will have. Probably one water can or something. But initially they will start with a lot of baggage. So this moksha pursuit is similar to climbing Everest.
Absolutely.
We have to keep on, shedding the baggage. Rocket which goes up. A rocket, when it goes up to wherever it goes, every stage, at one stage it will drop off one stage, second stage, third stage. Ultimately, only what they call that module or what that
command module.
Satellite module goes in the space.
Yes.
Our life also, we should be, like that, shedding all these responsibilities, these baggages which we carry throughout our life.
Correct.
Because we refuse to do that, when we are unable to carry that baggage in our old age, they become a burden to us. And we all suffer, we all complain, we cry. So many things happen. And then we lose faith in everything. We don't know what to do.
That's
There's
correct.
no goal in life. The only goal is, okay, we'll get up every morning, eat, drink, see TV, and do some chat, some
Aimless life.
yeah.
Guruji,
And these days we have got this wonderful smartphone. But those days, old people I have seen, they used to have a beetle box, this
Correct.
beetle vettale and all. So
Vettale,
what they used to do, they will take it out, one beetle leaf, and take some of this chundam,
Chuna.
like this. So now that is gone. Now with cell phone, people are doing like this. That's the same practice is there, but the thing has changed.
Good
So
synonym.
when I see somebody
Guruji.
doing like this, I ask him, I said, are you eating beetle leaves or what? You are doing like this. So this is
Guruji.
what has happened. If we understand it, at the right time in our life, then at least whatever rest of the life we have, we can be very comfortable and happy.
Good. Thank you, Guruji. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Good night, Guruji.
Hari Om.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hari Om.
Guruji, I have a question.
Yeah, tell me.
Guruji, you talked about young people having the qualities to become something in their life, which is their preference. And you said when they don't get it, they get depressed, but you don't get everything that you want.
Yeah.
Now, we cannot talk about moksha to them because they are at the beginning. They're knocking on the door of life. So how, you said that thinking capacity goes away because they focus so much on wanting to be something they cannot. What would be your advice to them?
See, youngsters, children, whenever they grow up first of all watching their parents. If whatever is the approach of their parents towards their life, to a large extent, that determines the approach of the children to their lives. That's the first point we have to understand. So, whenever we are actually trying to give some values to the children, first important requirement is the parent should be following those values. And not only following those values, as Swami Dayananda Saraswati says, we have to have a value for the values. We must understand the value of the values, and then only we will follow those values sincerely, and then only we will be able to pass on that values to the next generation also. This is the first point. Once that is there, then the children, even if they go out into the society, they will have a shield around them, the shield of the values which they have received at their home right from childhood. Today, you tell me how many parents are actually focusing on bringing up children. They think that giving food to the children at the right time, or helping them little bit with some their homework and all that is, I am actually taking care of my child. This is what the parents' understanding is. And they are all busy in their own. Mother is busy with her job, even working from home. Everybody is busy with their own laptop and all that. And children, they are busy in the laptop with the school, this what is that, internet teaching and all that. The mother and father do not even know whether the child is actually watching that or doing the homework properly and all that. Everybody is busy. Busy with what? Earning money. So if the parents' goal in life is not earning money, ultimate goal, if the parents are able to actually balance their life in the sense of taking care of the children, doing their own duties which are prescribed for them, taking good care of their old parents. So there's so many things. When a grihastha comes, grihastha's problem is he has to 3 generations he has to actually take care. Like that Raj Kapoor picture came, Kal, Aaj aur Kal. I don't know whether you've seen that movie. Previous generation parents, his own family, wife and relatives, both sides relatives, and children, next generation. 3 generations the grihastha has to take care. And he can't do that alone. That is why that Sahadharmini, the wife is called Sahadharmini. Sahadharmini means who has to, be one with the husband. The two of them has to form a team to do everything together. Is that happening in these days? Nothing is happening. Everybody is going their own way. So with all these things, if I ask why children are getting depressed and all, they will get depressed. Why adults get depressed? Isn't it? So if there has been, see, in Tamil there is முதல் கோணல் முற்றிலும் கோணல் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு they say, if something is bent in the beginning, then you can't straighten it. For example, plants, we have seen it. If the plant grows in a bended way, the tree also will be bended. So what we will do, we will try to put some sticks and all around the plant so that it goes straight. But when it becomes a tree, it becomes straight. But we fail to do that with our own children, with our own family. We are not putting those kind of things. So much freedom is given to the children today, these days. Whatever they ask, they have to be fulfilled. One thing, if they ask and if you are not doing it, then tantrum is thrown and this and that. My God. And I am not saying this for other children, even my own grandchildren and all that. When I go to the US, I see all this happening in my own house. But what my attitude, Vanaprastha attitude, let them do anything. That is their life. I am not here to impose all my learnings on them. If they want and come and learn from me, I am happy to share my learning. If they don't want, I am happy with not doing it also. Whoever comes to me, I will share. Nobody comes to me. I have got my guru's, words, guru's lectures, guru's books to keep myself busy the whole day. So that attitude, once you develop, then life is, happiness and happiness only. There is no room for any sorrow or anything. You don't miss anything in life. If it is there, enjoy it. Not there, okay, manage without that. Titiksha, you develop. We'll discuss all these things. In Tattva Bodha, it's such a beautiful text. It takes your life throughout and tells you how you should lead your life. And that is very relevant even from modern times. It is not necessary for us to say, oh, we are living in this society, we are living in this and all that. We can still do a lot of things, many things, to ensure our own peace and happiness without, getting involved in all the other.
Low system battery.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you very much.
Okay. Ariom, we will stop here and continue next.
Thank you, Guruji, for admitting for the
all
class.
those people who have joined recently, I will be again sending the Tattva Bodha text PDF copy, circulating it. And so if you want, you take a printout and you can follow that. Because this book is not available anywhere in a printed form. Of course, they're there. Swami Chinmayananda Mission and all, they've got the book. But the commentary which I will be, explanation I will be giving will not be based on any book rather. That will be mostly based upon what I have learned from Swami Paramathananda. And also what I have learned little bit in the Gurukulam, there we also started with Tattva Bodha. What my Acharya Swami Sadatmananda taught us. So based on all that, I'll be teaching this Tattva Bodha text. So I will send the text again circulated because a few people have joined this week. So I will do it.
Yes, Guruji. Thank you very much.
Okay. Hariom. Thank you very much.
Hariom. Hariom to everybody.